Welcome. I'm Lyndell Werling, your host for the Finest Women in Real Estate. Today we're here and we're going to talk about two of my favorite topics, beauty and fashion. I have Michelle Limon, who is with CMG Financial. She's a mortgage broker. And Kimberly Whitfield, who is the co-founder of Solar Brokers, LLC. And Annette Higgins. She is of Annette Higgins Couture Millinery. What I'd like to do is start off the show and talk about a topic that's dear to all of our hearts, which is how do we do what we do and go out the door every day and look professional, look pulled together, and everybody has their best procedures for doing it. Michelle, can you share a little bit with us about how you make it work?
Well, for my business, I prepare on Sunday. So my closet is a bedroom, and everything is out on racks and shoes and everything, and it would take much too long to try and coordinate an outfit in the morning, getting 4 kids off to school.
I agree.
So Sunday I prepare all of my outfits for the entire week.
That's a wonderful option that you have, and what I like about it is the preparation and the forethought, because some of us don't perform as well under pressure when it comes to putting an outfit together, so we go out the door maybe not feeling our best. So that's a great tip, is just putting some time aside and making it part of your professional routine. That's a wonderful idea. I really like that. Kimberly, your business is a little bit different. You are more out and around and, boots on the ground. What's a great way that you have found to get to your customers and job sites and balance the demands of being a mother as well?
Yeah, well, so Lyndell, I definitely have a lot of different looks that I can wear on a daily basis. Sometimes I change my role as well.
Sure.
But I really enjoy having a lot of different options that look good on me in different colors. So that's one thing that I do. I might have a nice pair of, that sort of sporty chic look that I'll do one day, and then obviously if I'm going to an event, then I'm going to have heels, and it's just fun to mix up and just choose my colors, not necessarily what looks good together. So it's much faster that way.
What you said is very important, knowing what works for you and maybe doing it in different colors. I love that idea, because I think at the end of the day, we all want to look our best and really govern how much time and expense we put into that. So if you know a certain piece works for you, you can replicate it, and then it takes some of that time and that experimentation out of it. So that's a really good tip. Michelle, you always look so pulled together. I know that you spend a lot of time doing it, and I think one of the things you might have found is what works well for you. Can you share just a little bit with us about how that happens and how you've made a best practice out of it?
Well, I'm a cheater because I shop at the same store all the time, and they often put the outfits together for me, so I just go in and buy the whole outfit and then I put it aside.
That's not cheating. You're not cheating if you're not trying, right? Kimberly, one thing that I'm curious about is when you're going maybe to different types of events throughout the day, and you might want to look a little more formal, but then necessity demands that you look a little less formal because you have to wear sneakers or tennis shoes or work boots. How do you do that? It must be planning partially.
Partially planning, but also the convenience of having jackets and vests and like blazers that go with different things. Also shoes. I might be wearing a nice pair of tight jeans with a blazer with sneakers for the first part of the day, like a nice sneaker. And then I have different shoes in my car. I have a stiletto in my car, or a nice peep toe shoe, something like that.
Yeah, versatility and functionality. It's sometimes hard to find both of those types of elements in what we wear, but we all know we need it. And when you find something that works, it's good to kind of archive that so you can share it with your friends, and you can make sure that it's incorporated into that best look that you take out the door. Looking good leads to success. Thank you for that. I'm going to move on to Annette, because what Annette is going to share with us is so exciting to me because it's little known. Tell us about your hats, not just how custom they are and all the work that goes into them, but maybe a little about where they should be worn, how they should be worn, and some of the history of how that's unfolded.
Oh, sure. I brought a few with me here just to demonstrate them for you. So obviously this is a very large brim downturn brim hat. Not everybody can wear it. A tall lady, yes, sure, she can wear it. But if you're petite, so I would not recommend for you to wear this hat, because it's not gonna make you look good. So what I will recommend for you in that case, to choose a hat if it's races, which is upturned brim. So that will give you some height and actually will complement your body instead of just bringing you down. So that's another racetrack hat. So there are different types of hat. This hat that Michelle is wearing, that's called a fascinator. Everything what's on a headband is called a fascinator. So sometimes people make a mistake. They call all the small pieces fascinators. It's not true. It's not right. So everything what's on elastic and a little bit heavier, that you would call those hat pieces or a cocktail hat. So just remember, headband is fascinator. So this is a different type of a hat that's called a percha hat. Everything what wears on your forehead like this, here, it can be on your right, can be on your left, can be in the middle, that is a percha hat. You can wear those at the weddings, at the races, at the parties. Anyway, they're more like multifunction hats, hat pieces. This is the same. This is a hat piece. Same thing. You can wear it at the wedding, at the church, at the parties, stuff like that. You're more kind of limited to these larger size hats because you will wear most of the time those at the races, the weddings, or at the church.
These are spectacular. What I love about the hats that we're looking at is the detail. I know that you spend hours and hours putting these together and you think through more than just the color scheme. Talk to us a little bit about the final product and how it gets pulled together. What goes into it, what goes through your mind, and how does that creative process result in these masterpiece hats?
Designing a hat is one thing if I'm just designing a new hat. But most of the time I work with customers, and my repeated customers, they usually know how I work. They send me their address, a picture of their address, and that's how I come up with idea of what kind of hat I'm gonna go for them. So I coordinate the hat with the colors on the dress, and this is where the dress itself shows me and tells me the design. That's just how it is for me. Lots of times ladies think, oh, it's better for me to get a hat first, and then they stumble into trouble trying to find a matching dress. So just remember, this is a good tip. Find a dress first and it will be way easier for you to find a matching hat.
It ties into what you were talking about, Michelle, and certainly what you're doing, Kimberly, preparation. And for all of us, juggling our health, our fitness, our personal life, our career, and of course motherhood, there's probably more demands, things that we want to accomplish. It gets tough to do that. So preparation with your hats, knowing where to wear them, knowing how to walk out the door and look professional and further your brand and your corporate goals is wonderful. Thank you, ladies, for sharing all of this with us. I know that these tips can be used by so many people. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back. I'm Lyndell Werling, your host for the Finest Women in Real Estate.
Hello, I'm John Ruff, owner of Ruff & Ready Moving and Storage. Wherever you're moving, our team is eager to assist you with all your moving and storage needs. You can count on us to pack and handle your personal belongings with care. We also provide both temporary and long-term storage for your household or office goods. For more information or to schedule a free in-home estimate, visit us at ruffandreadymoving.com or call us today. From down the street to across the country, if your move is too tough, call Ruff.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool. Oh, yeah. Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back. I'm Lyndell Werling, your host for the Finest Women in Real Estate. With the panel we have here today, we're going to talk about an exciting topic, branding of image. It's a very hot topic in the marketplace, both in terms of visual branding, product and service branding, and we'd love to get the perspective of each of you. Michelle Limon, CMG, you are a mortgage broker, and tell us a little bit about how it is that you came up with your image, your branding, and how you use it in the marketplace.
Well, my brand is part of my last name, so the first thing I had to do was to get married so I could acquire the last name Limon, which translates to lemon in English. So we spun off of the color, so everything that we brand on our website and everything that goes out is yellow, so people will remember the color. Then we use the image of the limon, so people remember that, and we tie that all together to try to get people to remember our company and our brand and our team.
I love that. And with respect to branding and image, obviously the way that you look representing your organization and that brand is important. I know you put a lot of effort into it, but not too much. You've figured out a way and a process to make that happen. Share with us just a little bit about how you've done that.
Well, I had some designers help me out, first of all, putting my whole brand and my whole image together for my team. But as far as like me personally, I take time in putting together my outfits and coordinating things and making sure that I come across respectful and professional to all age groups of clientele.
I love that.
Married, unmarried. I definitely don't want to offend any cultures that might be out there as well. So I take into consideration a lot of that when I put myself together, so I don't offend anybody. And
all of that is critical, and it plays into greater success. You're doing what other people may not be doing.
Correct.
And you're doing it really well. Your brand is very marquee, and you've done a fantastic job. Thank you for sharing that with us. I'm going to open up the same question to Kimberly. Kimberly Whitfield is the co-founder of Solar Brokers LLC. Share with us what your brand means to you. It's a bit different than some of the other aspects of real estate, and how you forward your personal image alongside of your brand.
Absolutely, thank you, Lyndell. Well, just like in what you wear and you feel good, and if you feel good with what you're wearing, if the image that you're putting out there, you feel good about that, you're just going to be prouder and more confident talking about your business. So, and similarly, Solar Brokers, I also use yellow, sun yellow, in a lot of my branding. I only recently got professional headshots for the very first time. So now on the About Us section, about me on my website, I have it there. I had some design help with my branding on my website, and I did a little bit of it myself as well. And on my business cards, it all kind of matches together. And so I think that has helped me to come a little further in my business, because I'm more comfortable saying Solar Brokers. This is, it's a very VIP concierge approach to learning what solar looks like for you. And so I get excited when I get to share my brand now.
The tie-in is important. And I like what you said about the headshots. You don't want to leave a part of representing yourself to just chance. You want to be very intentional about it. So good for you for doing that. I look forward to seeing the new headshots, because I don't think that I have. I'm going to move on to Annette, and Annette Higgins is a custom hat designer. She founded Annette Higgins Couture Millinery, and for you, it's probably a lot of pressure. People look to you to probably always be pulled together to see what are you wearing, what hat is coming up next. How is it that you created your brand, and how do you move it forward in the market space with such immense creativity?
Oh, thank you, Lyndell. So I created my brand, and I'm trying to, like 6 years ago, and I'm trying to help my customers to get the whole look. It's not just about the hat. I'm trying to send them a message that the dress cannot compete with your hat, and I'm trying to help them to achieve that and put the outfit together. So where each hat and a dress complement each other. So what I do, I work with them, and they send me their pictures of their outfits, and I design a hat to go with those outfits. And they're very happy about it. And people who come years after years, they already don't even ask, they just send me a picture immediately, and they just leave it for me. And I said, you're gonna do a good job just making a hat to go with this outfit.
That's remarkable. And what I love about what you do is what you said, the sum of the parts are greater than the inputs. You're taking the branding for that person, their visual look, and helping them to really stand out at important events in their lives. And when they trust you with the image of their attire, you're making that so much greater than just the dress they're wearing. That's fantastic.
Thank you. I also take in considerations their facial features as well. So because for different facial features, square face, oval face, you need a different type of a hat. So I kind of help them with that as well.
A lot goes into what you do, and we loved seeing in some of the images how these fantastic hats are making statements at really international events. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm going to move on to Brian. We have a man on our show, The Finest Women in Real Estate.
Yay.
And Brian Fox is a real estate agent, obviously, and he is going to be on the cast of the Real Men of Real Estate TV talk show. So Brian Fox, share with us how your branding is important to you. You have a team. What does it mean?
So for me, thank you very much for the question. The thing for me is that when it comes to our branding, we have multiple people working for our team at one time. So it's very much about consistency. We have to consistency in what goes out, consistency what happens in the transaction, and consistency what happens in our agents and their behavior. So for me, our branding is, because we're 95% referral, we get so many referrals, it has to be consistent at every level so they know what we actually stood for, not just what our stuff that our mailing pieces are, what our other things are, because we have human beings working in 90-day stints with other individuals. We need to make sure we can guarantee what they're doing with them, so we modify their behavior. So for us, branding is very much about being consistent. I think any branding revolves around consistent, so there's no delusion in what your message is as it goes out, because you'll get a referral. It takes one bad experience to lose 10 clients. It takes one good experience to gain maybe one.
Consistency is so key, and that plays into all of the behind the scenes elements. And you're right, marquee brands are consistent. We know what we're going to expect on the Super Bowl commercials. Absolutely. We know what we're going to see in catalogs that come out at Christmas. We know what we're going to see when we go to certain places or events. Right. So I couldn't agree with you more. Referral-based business is critical. Everyone can be replaced usually except for customers. They're very hard to replace, and you never want to be in a position to do that. So with the time that we have left, I'd love to go around and just hear maybe one word that you think represents your brand or should represent a brand.
For me, I think it would be professionalism.
I agree. I love that one. Kimberly?
I think it would be care.
Love it. Annette?
I would say style.
Love it.
Ours would be integrity. If we say we're going to do it, they have to know we're going to.
Thank you for joining us on this segment of The Finest Women in Real Estate. Stay tuned. We will be right back. We've given you some tips and hints about what goes into branding that we hope you'll be able to implement. Thank you.
Hello, I'm John Ruff, owner of Ruff & Ready Moving and Storage. Wherever you're moving, our team is eager to assist you with all your moving and storage needs. You can count on us to pack and handle your personal belongings with care. We also provide both temporary and long-term storage for your household or office goods. For more information or to schedule a free in-home estimate, visit us at ruffandreadymoving.com or call us today. From down the street to across the country, if your move is too tough, call Ruff.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool. Oh, yeah. Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back. I'm Lyndell Werling, your host for the Finest Women in Real Estate, and this is my favorite part of the segment where we talk about what everybody's wearing and how it supports their professional image. We'll start with Annette Higgins, custom hat designer, and she's wearing one of her beautiful creations. What is so spectacular about her pieces is that they are one of a kind, and she ties them into outfits specifically, so you cannot go wrong with one of Annette's hats. It's perfectly proportioned for her face, designed for her outfit, and I love the architectural design of the stripe going down the front and the closed-toed pump. Excellent job, Annette. You look fantastic. Next up, we're going to talk about Michelle Limon. And Michelle and I know each other and talk about fashion all the time. And what Michelle does that is so important is thinks through the full outfit. So as you can see, she's got a matching piece from head to toe. It elongates and slenderizes the torso, and everybody wants that, at least I know I do. And she tied in a beautiful animal print belt, and it matches the shoes. It's a look that you can do today. It draws from the beautiful work that folks like Jackie O used to do, and I think you look spectacular as well. Next, we're going to talk about Kimberly, and she's done something a little bit different. She's brought in a number of different pieces to create a very well-proportioned outfit, including the snakeskin pumps. She's brought in a number of different colors, and the longer jacket with the pieces that come in at the waist create a wonderful silhouette. It's hard to do that, and she's tall and slender, so she made it work and look wonderful. And these are colors that look good on her complexion with her hair, and that's a big part of branding, is knowing what works for you. And I love how you did it. I think you brought in an interesting shoe, and that's a big part of accessorizing and branding, making yourself stand out in a crowd. So wonderful job. I love the outfit. And now we're going to talk to our finest man in real estate, Brian Fox. And what Brian's done is one of my absolute favorite things. If you follow the NFL, you'll see one of the key quarterbacks always wears the window pane jacket. Blue is a wonderful color. I love how you've coordinated the lighter blue shirt with the stripe and the vertical and the horizontal on your jacket. It's a very modern, of the time look. And the wonderful shoes that you paired with it, as well as the dark wash jeans. Jeans are a double-edged sword. They're casual, they can be distressed, but as a realtor, I think you want to look pulled together when you are casual. And Brian, you definitely did that. I think it's a fantastic look. It's unique. Not everybody knows how to do all this stuff as a man. You look pulled together, professional, and I would buy a big house from you if I could. What we have in common among each of our lovely realtors and fashion participants on the stage is that they thought through what they were wearing. And that's half the battle in getting your image portrayed. Think through it, make sure that you've got it looking cohesive, and put some time and energy into it. You'll find that you meet with better success. Thank you for joining us on The Finest Women in Real Estate. I'm your host, Lyndell Werling.